Hello, and welcome back to Project Incenssion. I'm your host, Andrew Mallet, and we're here with Karen Ann Lucyk McDonald, 13th White Bear Clan mother, and she's going to bring us news about her grow tower and how it's not doing so well. How's it going, Karen?
Oh, well, I'm excited. I was, as people have been following, because I am excited about the idea of doing this, okay? And we ordered this, and, you got to remember, as a clan mother over all the white tribes and the tribes on the planet, internationally and globally, I want to get excited, because it's like an angel on a mission, right? I want to make sure everyone's got access to, like, the best, the most exciting waters ever.
Right.
And that's spring water. Okay? Don't talk to me about anything else. Don't talk to me about distilled. Don't talk to me about well. Don't talk to me about treated. And don't talk to me about anything called restructuring and a whole bunch of machines that cost thousands of dollars. Okay? Because we can use spring water and we can still get negative ionization through little water. So, having said this, I'm really excited because, I played with this all last year with Kim Gamelmeister and Taba and Janice Nigam in Medicine Hat, where we flagged our other thing. So that's what we're playing with. This is a tower garden, okay? And so the problem being, I noticed afterwards, is that they were using city water that was treated. And I was really concerned about the seeds, and they said, oh, no, these seeds are fine. No, they're fine. And, no, they're okay to plant. They're not GMO'd or something, or sprayed or something. But no one really knew. No one really knew. And so, having said that,
that's what they said when they called you, when you called them?
Oh, this is going to get more exciting as I get the thing going on. But this is what basically the packages come as. Okay? This is pepper. Doesn't tell me what kind of pepper.
Right.
Could be one of those colors. I don't know what's going to ever come up. And it's on the back that says Tower Gardens. Oops. And there you can see it says, call, if you need more stuff, call American Meadows. So I called American Meadows, and I called Juice Plus already back sometime, and I wanted to know what the seeds were. No one could tell me what the seeds were. They couldn't tell me if they were heirloom, first class, uncontaminated, been seeds for generations and generations, right? Life before Monsanto. So that's an heirloom hereditary seed, or some people think pedigree. Okay, we call it a noble seed, a savage seed. No one's played around with it or treated it. Second class is organic, which may, by legal definition, get this, have up to 20 or 30 or more fungicides, pesticides, or anything allowable on organic farms.
Wow.
They're not gardeners, they're, okay? And that's part of the thing. That's what you see in food. We've got wild superfood that we're foraging, or with organic number 9, same thing. Sprayed at the board, everything. It's the same thing. They're, again, contaminated. Then you've got GMO number 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. We don't know what the flip it is. The only one that knows this is the cartels that are doing it in the Illuminati and New World Order. I don't know what that is. Okay? Right. So my first two plantings actually were with this. I just wanted to see what was going on. This is how, it has been a great experiment, because it actually showed me in ways what was going on. But I couldn't get any answers. I couldn't get any help from them. I phoned to Kim. I emailed to Kim. I finally got Janice one day on kind of a Skype thing, on Facebook. And it brought her here this. I said, look at this. I got fungus everywhere. I don't know I've done this with you guys. It's not like I'm just right off the street.
And this is the 4th time.
Yeah. So anyway, clean it down, use hydrogen peroxide and oils. And I didn't think it was totally going to function, but I did it anyway, according to what I'd been instructed. Because I also know it's into the equipment. It's into the aquarium pump and stuff. So you never get it totally out. And this is like having treated city water. You never get everything out. It's impossible. Treating water is not going and drinking spring water, which is why I won't drink anything less. Okay? I don't get treated.
Right.
Or poison. Let's just think, treat poison, purified poison. That's the same thing. And by legal definition, even natural, you can have less than 10% of the original substance and 90% contamination. Legal definitions if you're in the jurisdiction of those countries, which I'm not. I'm also educated a little bit higher. So one of the things that happened is on the first run, we did everything. We had, everything was, you know, on there, and I had water going because I was actually manually doing it because I was here. Second time we also went, we had the timer set up here. Every 15 minutes, there's a waterfall you'll see. And because the water out of Petrovka, which is an airlift site, and I'm now checking into that, because we've also since that in the last month had the North Saskatchewan River contaminated with the upgrader from Lloydminster, which is a husky like the BP oil spill, which has probably contaminated everything with black sentient goo. If you don't know what that is, because they don't, none of the University of Saskatchewan people or the Water Security Safety Commission did that I spoke to already. Ashley's down there, and you're the guys in Saskatoon, and the plant sciences people at the University for Horticulture here. None of them do this. Okay, and I got 100, you know, different, well, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. The water apparently is okay, but I want to see I want the test results. And this has to be remedied through different people. And I want to thank the viewers and the listeners and all our people at projectincension, because also the stuff that I've done at the BASIS project with Miles Johnston, we explained this in basically BASIS 46 with Harold Katzbala. I talk about what we're doing in Medicine Hat on 47. And then the CERN and the LHC, which is at the University of Saskatchewan, and the ring road here and all the stuff that's really going on under our feet with radiation and nuclear reactors and mini CERNs like the synchrotron in Montauk and Brookhaven, which is also down probably like not even 3 miles away from me here. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm in a radiation nuclear facility above ground. So anyway, I went and got the water. We put it into this reserve. We're going to put it in here, and I'll show the people what this looks like. So I'll just move the camera down a little bit here, because it really is simple. The idea itself is genius. It's just how to get this perfected, and that's what we're here to do, is get a benevolent government. In here is actually a little water aquarium pump. I think most people have seen aquarium pumps. Now what you can see on here is that this got the white fungus on it, and that's why I'm gloved up. Okay, and at the bottom here, it is all full of a white contaminant here. And just to show you the samples on it, you can tell I've been nursing. Okay, that's what the water sample looks like. There's stuff floating in the bottom that was not there. Okay, and that's a sample of the plant. You can see the rot and everything growing in there.
And that's not supposed to look like that.
No, rock roll's not supposed to look like that with vermiculite. Now, when the water comes up, you know, Petrovka water and stuff like that is very alkaline. That's why for drinking, I love it out here, because our water is actually that color. Okay, so, but what that means though is because it's alkaline, and I tested the pH with our kit, and I had my own kits here, and I've got ORP stuff. Okay, I know what the water's sitting at, and you got to remember that's like people's food and their chakras. That means most people are in the city water. They're down here. They're not even, you know, they're not even feeding or drinking or putting water for their soil or saline or minerals. Okay, you can see where we're fully activated up here in those waters and excited. And again, that correlates to your pH of your food, everything. Those are food charts, by the way. So what happened in here is that we went to go get this going, and on there, we've got this now running. So it's very simple to put together. You take the rock wool, and I mean, I've gotten rock wool many times. Put the rock wool into, actually, what you do is you take this little rock wool, you put a little bit of vermiculite in it, and you put it in a tray that they give you and water it. And you pre-soak it for about 30 minutes. But anyway, you put your little seeds in here, and then basically after, you know, 3-4 days or a couple days or whatever, you're going to start seeing germination, just like when I do sprouting.
Right.
Okay. So like I said, I used their seeds the first time. I think that was maybe possibly the contaminant from what I can narrow down now. Otherwise, what I use after, and this is where people have to know the difference. This is heritage seed. Okay, this one says heirloom. pedigree, noble, savage, wild, stuff in here. You see that they have stuff like batch numbers and stuff. So if there's something that's a problem, you can trace them. That one says lot 16, whatever.
These are the ones that did not come with the kit, correct?
Correct. There's the one off the other one here, too. Okay, you see how they're batched properly?
Right.
Okay. And this one, you know, again, because we like to specialize in rare and heirloom vegetables and stuff like that. That's, like I said, that alone, from an international law point of view, this is against the law. It's illegal and against the law. Okay? And when I have to make phone calls and no one can tell me what they are, right, that's a problem. And they said they used the word, it's a private contract. You don't know what it is. I said this way, you're American Meadows. What is that seed? She goes, I don't know. I said, what is it? This is who you're selling them to or contracting to. She couldn't tell me. She says, I don't know. It's a private contract. I don't have access to that information.
She couldn't direct you to someone that does or did?
No. So this is why we're going to put this out. We're going to educate people. And that's what I want to do is I want to thank Tim Blanks. I think you're a genius, really. And I wanted this, I sent some emails and I said, I want this CC'd to Tim Blanks. Okay, I've been studying this stuff on and off for a year. And again, that's how you're doing stuff in Epcot Center. We've got stuff going on, but you got to remember, if this is like a Terminator seed, like they do in these little wheat fields,
right,
in their stuff, you can make a Terminator seed that only grows with that fungicide or herbicide. And if your trace elements of it being played into the city waters, well, of course it's going to like do that. But that's not going to keep going, and that's what's going to kill people.
Right, exactly.
Okay, so I don't know how far down the rabbit hole we're going, but we're going. And so what we do is you get the parts here, and like I said, I was gifted this by Neil McKay, you know, and we started this in May. It took us weeks to even get, I started this actually in April. It took us to May to finally for her to return the calls, right? Had I known, about a couple weeks later, I went down and there was a couple people at the farmer's market. And I managed to go to the Gardenscape too, where I happened to just, thank gosh, still keep Michelle O'Brien's pamphlet here. Because then I had contact. And you got to remember, you know, it's like they say in thing, you know, agents, principals, agents, you know what I mean? So, you know, when I'm doing something and I'm contacting that, the agent is also responsible. She was the rep. So I finally got her down here. She brought someone else 2 days ago. And she did help me plant one more time on my third planting. Okay, so if I hadn't kept that, and that was the other thing too, when we had ordered it initially, we wanted the whole entire setup. So the cage didn't come either with him. So, you know, like I said, we still had to set up the lights around here, and we just didn't have the cage to do it. We set up the light here and kept rotating things. So, nonetheless, it was very easy to put together. You put the water in from spring water. I get the aquarium pump in. I get it down to, you know, an acidic type of pH, because we've got a couple things in here. You got minerals, and that was the other thing I found is between the things I looked up on the books, in the YouTubes and everything else, it said between 200 and 400 mils. So I went to the 200, and one time I went to the 400. But anyway, I kept it between usually 200 on these. There's a tonic power here, A and B. Okay, so they were all put in according to what I was told, and like I say, even just in my studies, I find in a variety of, like, you know, conflicting information. So depending where the people live, you have to make it more acidic or more alkaline here. Okay? So there was no question as to what it was. And like I said, I had Michelle come in the third time because I just wanted to witness. And I had Aaron actually photograph the stuff on the third planting that we did. So this was now the fourth after Michelle left. But ideally, that's what we want to do. You know, is that you're going to have something, and I wanted to do this for the balance of the reserves, okay, and people in greenhouses to make sure people have, you know, the most exciting food ever, okay? And, you know, because we're going to be looking at, like, what Tim did in Epcot Center, but we're going to have to do it as Patty Masarda shown in Cypress Hills of Canada or at Project Incenssion. We need to have radiation-proof facilities. Your Venus part of the Eden product and all these different things in Amherst is not going to function because you need we've lost all the shields. And if you're missing that vital piece of information, everything on top of the ground is now radioactive for about 15 feet. Anyway, that's why deep underground military bases wouldn't function as well, because you don't have the right materials in there. Okay, so Tim had this idea, very simple. Like I said, there's the base, there's the aquarium pump, and it just actually fits up through plastic. There's not even a plastic tube. It's just the tubes actually interlock like Lego. And the water starts coming up through. So I'm going to show you how easy it really is. It's not difficult. It only took me a few minutes to do. A lot of people put theirs outdoors. So we got to hook up basically the aquarium pump here. And that's all we're going to do. Hook it up to the water, put some tubes in, and put that together, which is what I've done here already. The assembly was very easy, actually. And I ordered a couple more because I wanted it right. Okay, I ordered 2 more of these containers, so I didn't just get the 4. And you gotta remember, a lot of people think it's only a couple $100. This whole unit, probably by the time it was done, was close to $1,400.
Wow.
Okay, and I'm not quite done yet. Okay, so you just add and add just like stuff, and then you put the little, you know, seedlings up that you've got them on your grow tower. So it's not a difficult thing on how to start seeds. And basically the water will run like a reservoir up. But like I said, I can MacGyver prefab this now with an aquarium temp and any electrical or timer for a fraction of the cost. I mean, you can get this actually probably gifted and do it for nothing if you know how to do it properly, or your local supply stuff. So that's not a problem. And you can drain and refill the reservoir up top if you need to. Now, the problem is, after we did the third one here, I've got everything hooked up. As you can see, the aquarium pump, I'm just going to move everything over for our viewers. Okay. You got to remember, I don't look at this as the province of Saskatchewan. I'm the clan mother in the Neowak Free Nations here.
Right.
I also have facilities and stuff that I keep it in each one of the tribes and nations. It's too funny because Ray Mescapow said, "We're going to adopt you." And I kept saying, "That's so funny." I said, "I didn't know." I said, "I'm not lost." So the Neowak Cree Nations at ahtahkakoop. I don't look at it as the band reserve number 104 up here by Big River, 2 hours north of Saskatoon by Canwood and Debden. Okay, I know original law. There was stuff before they moved into Waskasiu National Park there too. Okay, I want my springs protected. So anyway, this is going to get corrected here. Okay, and I'm happy to do gifting and help stuff with Tim too, from long distance with my gifts remote. Okay, so as a medical practitioner and clan mother, so we have all those fun steel things. So anyway, basically all you do is take that rock wool, you put a couple seeds in, as I said, we soak it, we let it germinate, and then basically what you do is you put that rock wool in this little plastic basket and just like that, oops, just put it in here, okay? And I'm gonna put this on just quickly here and let it run so you can actually hear it and see it. The reason why is most people never see something like this. They can't conceive how this can function in hydroponics. You can see it's got like a water fountain, right? Like a wishing well.
Right.
Okay. But that's what's happening. So you can also see in here all the contamination and how white fungus is getting everywhere. And this is rotting out here, you know? Okay. So you asked Andrew, how easy is it to put up here? Very easy. It's like stacking Lego. You know, you just line it up. Okay, you're not, I'm just lining it up here on this little rods up here. Okay, and then we're going to slide it down into the right holes. Okay, so what we do is just line this up into the holes, make sure you got the right holes. That slides down and then locks into place there. And then what you can see the water will start coming up on the next level here. You know, so it's not difficult to do. And I just want to, like I said, for most people, that's all it does. You can see the pressure comes back up, even if I'm not in the right hole, we're doing that stuff. It's actually, you know, pretty free to get this going. You know, we shouldn't have to have this kind of difficulty and stuff to do that. You know, and so that's the only way to keep rocking this up. So you can see the fountain going up here?
Right, yes.
Okay, that's one. And then you keep moving it, like layers of Legos. Okay, and like I said, I had a few more, so. Okay, now you can see the fountain's coming up on this side.
Correct, yes.
Right over there, we wanted to clean my screen, I'll just flip the water at you. That's how it is, you know? And then you get your little basket. These are dried out to come out, but you can actually see the fungus or whatever. This has been cleaned and dried out with, you know, stuff like peroxide and thieves essential oil and all sorts of things. You put that in, and then you put the little, you know, plant or whatever you have germinated by that point into the rock pool here. And then it supposedly is giving it mineral water bath. So that's it. So I just wanted to go through what I've done for the last 4 months. And, you know, when you can see, I mean, I'm not quite getting what we thought we were going to have getting. I thought it'd be on my at least second or third full garden by now.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. And I didn't think it would have to take me 2.5, 3 months to get this straightened out. But when it has to come to this, but you know, what's happened? I'm going to have this CC'd. I'm going to send this documentary so that Tim can evaluate it. We can do some gifting, you know, and keep everything peacefully. And the other thing too is that people can learn from it. We've got to go to indoor gardens. This is no different than a vaccine. This is what happens to the vaccine program. Now, the other thing too is I came back, and the tray that I left there, people don't seem to, you know, think that this is fungus that's contaminated. He let it sit here for like almost 2 weeks while I was gone to the mountains, and now he's been sick and in bed. But you know, Neil's been sitting there, and I said likely we could have had fungus or like this spore mold or whatever. He's been breaking in. So again, now I got him back, and that's why we said let's go to here, and we're going to talk a little bit then about what you can do for fungus, candida disease, cancer, ADD, MS, high blood pressure, whatever, because this is no different than your colon. You see what happens here? That's like you still poop or you still pee through, but doesn't mean there's not contamination on the inside. Right. Okay? And that you're not brewing something. This is the same idea why we do colon hydrotherapy and enemas. It's the same idea. But that enema water is contaminated now. I don't know what we're going to do there. So we'll move briefly to the kitchen and go over some of the things that we can use, you know, in a situation like this. Hopefully we won't transmit that too much. So from this, because that's the other thing too, is, you know, when we can't sleep and we're ill and, you know, bathroom things or issue things or headaches or whatever, that's always due to candida yeast and fungus and mold kind of ideas, okay? Right. And so you have to treat this as a systemic infection. It's not just the plants. And that's what happens when people eat off the supermarkets. They're all contaminated like that. I want to show you that. Everything that you're getting in the supermarket, even organics have to be washed and peeled back. But that's what's growing microscopically that you don't see. For this to come out that far, there's something going on. And that's why, if nothing else, I went out there and got my favorite book back, Water and Salt, the Essence of Life. That's all minerals and stuff in water. You can heal with those two things around. So it's either the minerals or the seeds, right, that are contaminated. It ain't the spring water. And even that, I'm having them retest because of the oil spill. But that doesn't account or have a factor in the first couple of things we're doing. So one of the things we are doing here, just for people so they know, to protect themselves, I'm just going to go through this because we went through Patty Broussard and we've got our people with like, you know, supposedly they think dental infections, but it's not that. It's the change in the pH in the terrain and not having clean food.
Say that again.
That's the same thing you and I just dealt with, you know, talking with former Sergeant Patty Broussard and dental infections and radiation. Like I said, we're sitting on a nuclear facility here. The LHC, we've got the slow poke and everything else, and all the stuff is illegal and unlawful as hell, by the way. And they should all be charged, and that's why we get the thing is scorched earth. You know, I'm sorry, but we've had enough. They violated all the treaties, and they have for some things. So, I mean, my thing, if they violate the proclamation, that's it. You're done. You know. So if we got to do stuff like this, here's MMS for people in the temporary. Jim Humble, you can look that up. Again, chlorine dioxides and stuff. It's not bleach. It's a healthy version, just like you can use hydrogen peroxide. This will take out AIDS and Ebola, so we have it in our water drinking water here. I've got Adia Clarity. There isn't too many toys that don't have that here. 35%, and I'm not usually a big fan, but someone gifted me some colloidal silver and stuff. I got colloidal gold. I got all that stuff in here too. We've got 35% hydrogen peroxide, and I've cleaned out everything with, we've got here, I got Kara, I got ISIS.ca, Eden's Gardens, Healing Solutions, and I'm sure what else have I got in here too, newdirections.com. We have no lack of stuff how to heal and just doing superfoods, and yet just being in this environment. So my thing is that I came back a couple days later, obviously after the fungus started showing, and Neil was ill the entire time till I came back and started cleaning this stuff out and
Right.
using stuff too. So there's something going on, and it's got to be, like I should say, to stay in honor, get this remedied properly, right? I still want to thank you and your the viewers and the listeners, and all the information we've got with former Sergeant Patty Broussard as well, so they can get a hold of me, because I'm still doing biofeedback on sessions, and I'm still picking up stuff now, so I'm handling stuff. I mean, it can't be not in here now, and I got essential oil diffusers going too all the time. You get affected. It's like mold and mildew. You know, it's about changing the terrain. So we look forward to, what they can do, what Tim Blanks can do, and whoever he's talking to in here too with Tower. And they can get a hold of me at clanmother13@gmail.com, and Project Incenssion obviously too, and their numbers they should have many times. We've got there. Like I said, we've got a file number finally started there too. So they can look that up and talk with Stasha, and then I talked with Dominica and stuff as well, other people. So, I mean, I've got some different people. I know, and that's why it's really important. I've talked to different people too, even like the people at Soccer Bet. It's important that people know who you're talking to, because I can go back and I can track it. And that's part of when people are, in these different things, they're supposed to be telling you in kind, as just even courtesy, who you are. Friend or whatever, you're supposed to identify yourself.
Right.
And so people know very well that I'm the 13th Clan Mother, Your Grace, Karen Ann, lucyk, Baron, MacDonald. And we'll just leave it there. And I want to get into the fun stuff now. So I'm looking forward to getting a new tower garden. And having it looked after and getting all these issues. And sometimes we go through these things because no one makes a complaint. It would not have gotten to my doorstep here as a gift 2 weeks ago. Not at all. 4 weeks ago, not at all. But like back in May, so almost 4 months ago. We've not gone through this if someone had not stepped up to the plate and made a complaint.
Right.
And the women did not stand up protecting the waters. So hopefully we've all learned something from this experience, but the remedy's got to be done. And like I say, we got to go green, which means go green on the earth and scorch the earth. We'll start again, And so that's part of the thing too. Like I said, there's no problem to do with heating, ventilation, anything. We got ceiling fans in here. It's been in Saskatoon. We're not in Sedona. It's not that humid in here. We haven't had that many rains or anything like that here. And again, the windows are totally open here. And aside from chemtrails and everything else that got in here from Fort Mac and whatever alien chemical burn that was coming in too. Remember, that was a chemical thing, like a sodium sulfide and stuff too, which I have samples of. So we look forward to our next epilogue of this. We can report that, you know, this has been replaced, and we're going to get the seeds batched and find out what's going on. And they need to look after the testing for this. They need to test the water and filter off the water and the water samples that I've now collected. And I've bagged and tagged virtually everything. And, you know, when someone starts making stuff like from the, you know, plant sciences, Mary or whatever, said, oh, it's powdery mildew. I went, it's not on the leaves. You know, you haven't sampled this. It's like a doctor making a diagnosis, right? Wanting to give people antibiotics to cover up the problem. If you put enough stuff in there, you could cover up that problem or go mist it with something, but it doesn't get rid of the initial problem.
Right.
It's all cleaned out and replaced. Absolutely brand new with pristine seeds that I know exactly what they are. Wild foraged. And at least I need to know where they're coming off.
Yeah, that's a shame they can't tell you what seeds or where they're coming from, or they should tell you that right off the bat. You know, they don't want to do that though, because then they know they won't sell 50% of their inventory.
Yeah, from what I can see, that what it was, because we know that the waters were all like, you know, in the right pH and stuff like that, that literally it would have been in the seed. That's the only thing I can come down to. And sometimes it's just a batch number. You know, and like I said, if it was done in really acidic water with city water, it's not going to show up. Where the same thing when you use spring water, you start doing it. Yeah, our stuff starts composting right away. Okay, because it's all supposed to.
Right.
And now when it's taking over like an overgrowth, then there's an issue. So hopefully we'll all get down to the bottom of this. And this has, you know, far-reaching precautions. You know, with the water and anyone that's tribal. And, you know, like I said, it's even bizarre when you find out, you know, that they're supposedly red Indians that aren't even Indian at all because they're RH negative. They're not even tribes, you know, doing this to different people. So we need to clean that. I want to know the seed, just like I want to know everyone's mtDNA on this planet right now.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to be on lockdown here, you know, and scorch the earth because we need to get this thing cleaned up.
Yeah, you have to keep us informed of what's going on.
Absolutely, and I think we'll be doing much more fun things. We'll be doing some how to, you know, at least eat raw and get into the tree food. You know, like I said, get tree food, stuff like that, essential oils, lemon, orange, lime, chocolate, raw cacao, that kind of thing. Same thing as your foods. That's what you should be sticking with because these roots are only going down so far right now, and you need to have roots that go down to get the spring water if you're on the ground, you know, 20, 80, 100 and some feet now.
Right.
And the thing that's going to do it is the trees. It's going to save this planet and the people. That's why we're ignoble savages, right? We hang out in the trees and the forests again. And I think that's really, really important. You know, people don't realize that these colors and stuff are chemical sets and stuff like that, and that we have, you know, different things like ET and aliens shooting at each other at the Star Wars and they're on the ground, you know, and then we have to go to, you know, projectincension to see, you know, or the Baseless Project or the League Project or other things or Jimmy Church and stuff. We're all talking about it. I mean, it's open when you get the CIA admitting, you know, we're vaccinated and we're doing this and we're putting chemtrails on you. I mean, it's disclosed already. Everything is open. You know, Paul Hilliard stuff learned that with. So we need to get this cleaned up. So, and we need to get obviously some better seeds.
Yeah, that's excellent. Keep us informed.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And we'll do that because, you know, I don't like seeing someone suffering here too. You know, I have to open up and start cleaning everything out, and get this videotape so that we can all be on the same page, right? And you can actually see it. And I've got the samples ready for testing. And like I said, at the people at Tower Gardens or whatever, and Tim Blanks, they can make arrangements. I don't care, whatever, Dominica, Sasha, whoever, they can make arrangements with them to make sure these things are tested properly.
Right.
We need to know. No guessing, we need to know.
Alrighty.
On our tribal lands, and that's the least that can be done for remedy right now to start with. Have a great, peaceful day. Thank you.
We'll talk to you. Bye-bye.